Hi everyone, you're welcome to Social Pills channel, the place to get just the right dose for your social challenges. I remain your chief host, Rejection. Today, I'm going to be talking about rejection, part 2. You see, lots of time, the rejection that we claim we suffer even start from ourselves. Do you know that most times we reject ourselves a lot? Yes, you complain that you are rejected by this group of people or this person rejected your person. But ask yourself this question: have I really accepted myself for who I am? You know, the things that happen about us makes our person. So, if I am the type that smiles a lot, people will tag me as the smiling person. If I frown a lot, they will say that I am a frowning person. So these things that happens around us, within us, that we do, that are true about us, actually makes our person. Now, have you really accepted yourself for who you are? That is a question that demands a true answer for us to be able to know when we are rejected, or whether we are the ones actually rejecting ourselves. I give you an example. Let's take for example, if I am indebted to Mr. A and Mr. A shares this information, what happens most times is that people tend to feel embarrassed, and then you now begin to hear statements like he's embarrassing me just because I'm owing him so amount of money. He's telling these people that I am owing him this amount of money or that amount of money. But let's be frank, is that information true or not? The thing here is that you are owing him, and that is just the truth. That one person or two persons know about it does not mean that you should be embarrassed. If you don't want to be that person that is owing and you are actually owing, interpret it very well. It simply means you are rejecting yourself. And that is what it is. We want to be accepted, but here we are rejecting ourselves. You are a debtor, but you don't want to agree, or you don't want to be known as a debtor. Is that not rejecting yourself? I give you another simple example. Let's say you go for a job interview and then you didn't make it. And let's say somebody within that organization happened to know that you were there for an interview, and he chooses to share this information, maybe with a neighbor. And then the next thing you will hear is people begin to say he went to expose me simply because he was opportune to know that I went for an interview. Hello, check it very well again. Are you not rejecting yourself? Did you not lose an interview? I mean, this is you. You were actually there, you didn't make it. You didn't make it doesn't mean that you are not capable of doing things or passing an examination. No. But lots of time, these things comes up and we reject ourselves. We reject our persons. Look at this very common one. You see a guy, you impregnate a lady, and then she have a child for you. But when this information comes out, you deny. You don't want people to know that, okay, you have a child out of wedlock. But this is you. This is your person. This is what is true about you. But you are not accepting yourself. So how do you want people to accept you? Or why will you complain that people are rejecting you when you yourself, you have not even accepted yourself for who you truly are, for the things that truly happen about you, or for the things that are true about you? We don't need to reject ourselves simply because we want to keep up with an ego. Now, let's look at that first example that I cited. You are indebted and you don't want to accept the fact that you are a debtor. Do you know that governments of countries borrow a lot? There are very few countries, if there are at all, that will claim not to be in debt. So if governments as large, as big as they are, borrow, who are you that you will feel embarrassed because people know that you are indebted to somebody? Are these things really necessary? You know, the interpretations we give to some of the issues in our society today, they are needless and uncalled for. Very needless and uncalled for. I mean, even some of these people that got this information that you are indebted to Mr. A, some of them, or most of them, or if not all of them, are also indebted too in one way or the other, either financially. Do you see that? But a wrong interpretation of some of these issues makes us to reject ourselves. And it is not the best things for us. Now, let me give an example. Let's say I have a friend, and then maybe in terms of financial standing, that friend is doing better than me. Or maybe say in terms of job, that person is higher than me, though we are close. And then that friend decides to throw a birthday party. You know, sometimes certain people can say, oh, this party are for people that have Lexus Jeep. And for that friend to say that, he is only setting a standard for himself. If I don't have that Lexus Jeep to attend that party, what you see most people interpret it to be is that he is forming levels for me. We are friends, but look at it. He is choosing that it's only people that have Lexus Jeep that should attend his party. That's why he decided to choose so hotel so that I cannot be there. Excuse me. All these interpretations are wrong. They are simply wrong. Let's take ourselves as individuals. You know, lots of times, the making of our persons are setting of standards for ourselves. So if you as a person, you have set a standard for yourself, do you know that it is not everyone that will meet up that criteria? Not everybody will meet up that standard. And if at certain point they cannot fit into your person, or to meet up certain things that you really want to do, does not mean that you are rejecting them. It doesn't mean that if you see them, you are not going to show that pleasantry, exchange that pleasantry of friendship. But it just means that at that particular time, or for that material thing in question, they don't meet your standard. So it will be outrageous to me for somebody to feel that he is rejected in such scenario. If you don't have that Lexus Jeep, I'm using it as an example, or if you cannot meet up certain standard in certain situations with people who you are close with, you should just simply understand that those things are never meant for you, or you are never meant for those things. And then we can interpret it this way and move on with our lives, rather than giving wrong interpretations to things and then using it to hurt ourselves, because that's the end point. Sometimes people can use 3 hours on their beds going through some of the issues that have played out either within the week or within that particular day. And if the right interpretations are given to these issues, we will see ourselves being depressed by hurtful thoughts that actually are baseless. Yes, baseless because our interpretations to them are very, very wrong. They are very, very wrong. Very, very uncalled for. So you reject yourself in so many ways, and then you feel you are being rejected. Now, on the part 1 of this video, I actually try to talk about people who are being rejected. And in actual sense, there are people who we can say they are rejected. Now, I'll give us a clear-cut example of someone that we can say is being rejected. If the circumstances that surround that rejection are things that are beyond human control, we can actually tag such a rejection to be true rejection. Not this one that we just make up for ourselves out of ego that doesn't hold water. You cannot meet up certain criteria, certain standard that some people or somebody have set for themselves, and then you are claiming to be rejected, when some of the things that are true about you, you have not even accepted them for yourself. Now, this is the example that I will give. Let's take, for example, if somebody that is blind happens to approach a group of people, and then let's say they are talking about driving, and then let's say the blind person, maybe one-eyed blind man, wants to air his own opinion, and then the others just choose to say, look at you that is blind, your one eyes cannot even see. What do you have to contribute here? You don't have anything to say to us. You know, in this kind of situation, that person may not be the cause of his blindness, and because he doesn't have the power to make himself either blind or to have sight, makes those kind of hurtful statements to be a rejection of their person. You have refused that person his opinion to a group discussion simply because you feel he is physically handicapped. This kind of situation can be interpreted as rejection. But if that is not the case, I am telling you that, look, that case is a case of clear rejection. So, I would like us to accept the person of ourselves before we claim we are rejected. Some of the things that we actually feel we are rejected about are things that are true about us. And if we want to be accepted, we should first of all accept these things that are true of us. I mean, Even some of the things that you think are natural, and there are certain ways that people react to them, it's good we just come to terms with them instead of feeling hot and complaining about them, going to the bed to have long thoughts, hurtful thoughts about them, and getting ourselves worked up and depressed. You see, depression is a very bad thing, and most times we bring it upon ourselves, but that shouldn't be the case. So I would like to leave us here to go through some of these things and accept the person of ourselves. Those things that are true about us, please let us do well to welcome it. If society tag you or say that interpret it to be that you are poor because maybe you are operating a certain financial status, you are not the only one that is there. Just take it to be that, and then see how you can work your way into having money. If some people feel that okay, you are dull, just see how you can work yourself into knowing those things that will make you to be brilliant. Accept yourself first, then you'll be able to make headway. But in the case where you want to start feeling bad, or you want to interpret it that you are being gossiped, or you are being for things that are true about you, then it will be a challenge making headway in our social life. So I remain your chief host, Great Shinwanda, and the call for us today is that we should accept ourselves. Click the subscribe button if this is the first video you are watching on this channel, as we are going to be treating lots of other topics that will help us scale through social challenges. Thank you very much for coming. Bye.